Record to the cloud. Awesome. Hello, Team Together Fit. Most of you know me. If you don't, I'm Britt Kovacs, and I am one of the Team Together Fit leaders. And I'm honored to be here helping Alli out as she is getting ready to give birth to this baby. She is not currently in labor, for all of y'all that are wondering where she is. She's just sleeping. So I want to close the chat. How do I do that? There we go. Cool. Okay. Awesome. I'm going to make it speaker view so the recording doesn't have a million people. Nope. That's not the speaker. Lives. Can everyone see me as the big person? Okay. I see someone else as the big person, which is like freaking me out. Okay, cool. So we are talking about duplication tonight and what that looks like as a leader. And so I just want to let everyone know, some of you might not know that we have, this is freaking me out. I have to change the view to go. I don't even know. Why is that? I'm sorry. Technical difficulties. Everyone is still muted. Okay, cool. Okay, Courtney sees me at the speaker. I'm just gonna like roll with it and see the one person's face that I'm staring at. It's great. Okay, so we have an incredible team, you guys, and so much, it's like a good thing and a bad thing. And so many people, you'll hear on national wake-up calls and on stage at Summit that they do not have upline leadership, and they had to figure this thing out themselves, and they watched countless YouTube videos, and you know, they were cold messaging other coaches on Instagram to figure things out. And you know, we are blessed and cursed with having amazing upline leaders. You guys, we had so many elite and premier teams last year, and we just have so many up and coming leaders. And you guys see that top 400 or top 500 board that Alli does every month. Like, we freaking have like 10 people in the top 400 of the company. Like, that is amazing. We have amazing leadership on this team and so many resources that sometimes can be paralyzing to a new coach, right? Like, too much information is sometimes just as bad as no information at all. And so we have to kind of figure out what works for us and always be tweaking the things that aren't working, but never tweaking the things that are working. And I just had a one-on-one call with one of my coaches about this. I don't even know, was it yesterday or today? My days are all running together. It's Monday, so I must have been this morning. About like putting your finger on what's working and then never straying from that thing that's working. And I was talking to Amy about it today when I was talking about what I'm going to talk about, and it kind of like dawned on me, it's kind of like 2B mindset. Any bunnies? We got 2B mindset bunnies. If you have a weight loss day and then you kind of get like stuck, you flip back through your tracker and you see what you did on that weight loss day that worked for you, okay? So it's kind of the same thing in our business. Like, if we're feeling a little bit stuck, we go back and see what we were doing on that month we hit Success Club 14, or, you know, we signed up 4 new coaches that week. Like, what were we doing what were our actions and our tangible steps, and what were we posting about, and, you know, what success stories were we sharing, and what did our stories look like, and were we killing our own health and wellness journey? And like, we kind of tweak on like what was working in that season and how do we get back to it. So my first thing that I have written down is duplicate what was modeled for you. What made you say yes? So for me personally, I started as a challenger. I needed this opportunity as like, straight up, I need to change my life before I can help change anyone else's. And if somebody would have asked me to be a coach when I signed up as a challenger, the answer would have been a hard no, and I would have ran in the other direction. But some people get started as a coach. Courtney, I can see my coach Courtney, who signed up as a coach day one. I think Annette signed up as a challenger. I'm just like reading people's names that I know. My coach Ashley that's on signed up as a challenger and a coach at the same time. So it just kind of depends on like where you were in your story. That's kind of what you're going to tend to attract. So for me, you know, if someone cold messages you and asks you about buying mascara or leggings or lipstick or whatever it is, and you're someone who tends to not answer those messages or ghost those messages, and then you're wondering why you're getting ghosted, maybe that form of inviting is not working for you. You've got to kind of tweak and figure out what your audience wants and what you want and what feels good to you. And I'm not talking about like the fear of inviting and the fear of like putting yourself out there or whatever. If it's a fear-based thing, like that's a topic for another day. But I'm talking about truly finding the system and that works for you in this business and brings you joy, and more importantly, brings you income producing results. And at the end of the day, we are here to help people 1,000%. Like, my life has been changed from the inside out with Beachbody, physically, mentally, emotionally. But I just quit my job last August and was able to retire my own husband last month. And so there is financial wealth here as well. And so we've got to figure out, you know, if that's a long-term goal for you, or if it's not, whatever your goal is in this business is, we've got to figure out what's working and what's not. So the way that I was able to kind of go from steady Success Club 10, 12, 14 to the numbers that you see today is because when I was pregnant and after I had my baby, he's 14 months old now, not really too much of a baby anymore, but I had on my vision board, it's no longer over on the wall, but I had create systems and hashtag duplication, like on one of my little, like, you know, what's it called, vision board things for last year, because I knew that I wanted to be a present mom and a present wife. And if you feel, I always kind of like pride myself on not having a system, and I'm not a tracker, and I don't do this and I don't do that. But when I like sit down and like look at my business and what works, I totally do have a freaking system. And that's kind of what Alli wanted me to talk about tonight, is getting a system. And so if you feel like you never know which way is up, or who you need to talk to, or who you've already talked to, or, you know, I can sell a challenge pack with my eyes closed because of the system that I've created. And I hate when I, you know, give 40 minutes of my time to speaking to somebody, listening to somebody else's team call, and I don't have any like tangible takeaway to go apply tomorrow. So if y'all hang out with me for a little bit longer, I'm going to give you the tangible like invite process that I myself follow, and y'all see my numbers, so hopefully it will translate for you. So I first and foremost started doing a fit community, and Amy Grasso has done a million calls on this. She spoke on the National Wake Up Call in November, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse on that, but I no longer run monthly groups. And that was because the prep week and constantly pulling the same recipes and posting the same recipes, and, you know, repeating the prep week and going live and talking about the containers and going live and, you know, screen sharing about Beachbody on Demand, and doing that prep week felt draining to me every single month. I was having a hard time finding, you know, new content or fresh, like, catchy phrases or fresh, you know, whatever it is. You've got to figure out what your people want, what you want, and what's going to bring you joy. And recreating those groups every month was no longer serving me or my people. And so I have went the fit community route. That's what I call mine. I know Amy calls hers virtual gym girls. People call them boot camps, challenge groups, whatever you call your group on Facebook or the My Challenge Tracker app. I run an ongoing one now. And that has helped me drastically. It's become one of my systems. I have, you know, my units in my prep week now, where I can, you know, if someone buys a challenge pack from me, I send them a welcome email. I'm going to go over that with you. And it's a video of me literally walking through and screen sharing them the fit community, and kind of like walking through how to get started in there, and what's going to come in their challenge pack, and how to change their auto ship orders and stuff like that. I know I keep talking about Amy, but she's my upline coach, so I know what she does and what works for her. She does one-on-one calls with her new challengers. One-on-one calls drain me, so I have a 15-minute video that I've pre-recorded that I can shoot off to everyone that orders from me, and it's part of my systems. It's duplicatable. I can literally see that I got a new challenge pack sale and shoot this email off, this welcome email. I'll get the goods to you in a little bit, and that works for me. So I touched on that already. Yeah, so here comes all the goods. So I always like kind of pride myself on not having a system, and I kind of like, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then I have just this past week, someone reached out to me that I had been talking to for more than 2 years. And I asked her right away if we had chatted before via email, and she said yes, a long time ago. So I clicked in her email, and I clicked over to my Gmail, and I searched her email. And something popped up from literally the beginning of 2017, and almost word for word, it's the same email I send out today. Like, I've tweaked a little bit because Beachbody on Demand didn't exist back then. I've tweaked a little bit because there was no UPF or To Be Mindset. Some of my questions have changed a little bit, but for the most part, I literally follow the same processes that worked for me 2.5 years ago. And so what I was telling my coach yesterday on our call was, if it's not broke, don't fix it. like I said with the tubing mindset, if you have a weight loss day, write down what you did that day and keep that your non-variable, your independent. Science teachers help me out with what's the word I'm looking for. There's like the variable that you change and the variable that doesn't change. Make that your thing that you don't change. Your controlled group, thanks friends, my smart friends. That's what I'm talking about. So like for me, things that are in my controlled group are sharing my challengers results and making sure that they're fresh people. Like if I've shouted out my coach Kylie numerous times, I'm not gonna shout out my coach Kylie anymore. I have a girl who is on a weight loss journey and her goal is to lose 100 pounds this year. And I shout her out pretty regularly because I freaking want to celebrate every single pound that she loses because she's lost over 45 pounds already this year. And I cannot wait to celebrate every pound as she hits 100. And people are going on that journey with her. But if she was the only success story I ever shared, nobody would believe that I was helping other people. So I'm constantly sharing screenshots from my fit community, and I white out names and I put GIFs over the faces of people because, you know, they don't know, that's the safe space for them. Nobody's gonna know who it is if I, you know, protect their identity, but I want people to know that I'm helping other people. So you might say, I only have 2 people in my fit community, one of them posts and the other one is my sister-in-law, whatever. You guys, we have an incredible team, and if you literally search like transformations in the team page, so many things pop up, and you can literally say, I just talked to my coach Joelle about this the other day. She was like, can I use, you know, success stories from our team and say that they're our team, but like, it's not my team, so I feel like it's weird. No, that's our freaking team. You can say, this is a girl from my team, because this team is your team just as much as it's Alli's team or my team or Christy Marshall's team or anyone's team. Like, we can share until you have your own client success stories, share each other's stories. What else are staples? Ain't broke, don't fix it. Literally search the word transformation, and tons of threads pop up all the time in the group. So lost my train of thought. Oh, something else I do. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yes, TTF page. In my stories every month, I have like a list, and Alli does this, Amy does this. So whoever your upline coach is might do this too. But we'll have a list of, you know, our goal for the month. So that may be 5 people, it might be 10 new coaches, it might be 10 new challengers, fit community girls, you know, virtual gym girls, whatever you call them in your world. Put your goal out there, and every time you sell a challenge pack or get a new girl in your group, write their name. You can even like write a little bit about them. So you could write like Amanda, new virtual gym girl, and then you can kind of like write Amanda is a mom of 3 and she's a full-time teacher and she's finally ready to go on this Mission Mom Bod journey with me, right? So people are like, wait, I'm a mom of 3, I'm a teacher, why is Amanda doing this and I'm not? Like, there's that aspect of FOMO. And I'm going to tell you guys something. The 1 month that I decided not to do that, it was coming off of February Team Cup month, Transform 20 launch. I had some really huge months back to back to back, and I was like, I'm just kind of like find myself in March. Like, I don't really want to hit success so high. I just want to like help a couple people, hit my minimum goals, and kind of like find my life, right? That was my like goal in March. And so I didn't do this in my stories in March. And I immediately regretted it because it was my thing that was working. Why would I stop doing my thing that was working? So figure out what pieces of your business are working and don't do them. That's probably terrible English, but like, don't not do the thing that's working for you. So find the things in your business that are working, always do them. And the things where you're falling short, or the things that aren't working, or if you're getting ghosted a ton, or, you know, whatever it is that's like, this probably doesn't like feel as good as it should. Those are the things that you're going to research and seek out more information in the champions page and on YouTube and from your upline. Something I love to do with my girls is role play. So I'll tell them like, who's feeling stuck? Invite me. And I'll like come up against them and tell them like, this is the piece you're missing, or you gave me too much information too fast, or I can kind of put my finger on, ooh, that like doesn't really feel good. Like, I don't like to, like, you're using Beachbody words. I don't know what that means. Like, kind of like tweaking and helping them. So, you know, your upline coach can be a resource for you. Reach out. We can't always like read minds when, you know, you're needing more help, but I am absolutely always available, and I'm certain that your upline coach is as well. So that is kind of like my heart and soul around like systems. And now I'm going to kind of like get into what I do. Does anyone want to know what I do? my systems, my invite process. Okay, cool. So first and foremost, the second someone asks me a question or says they're interested, I never give them any information. They can literally say, what program are you doing, or what is your pre-workout, or what's that yellow thing you drink, or how much does Shakeology cost? I will never answer their question in Instagram. I say, hey girl, that's such a good question. I can't wait to get you all of the information. I'm so excited you're interested. Can I grab your email so we can chat more? Always, always, always. That is my way of, if anyone's read Built to Last, which I know a ton of us have, it's my way of pulling the reins. I'm in charge here. If you want to work with me, we're going over to email, okay? And even if you're in that season of like, no, I need the sale, I'm going to meet them where they are, you've got to wear the pants in this relationship. So wherever is comfortable to you, pull them there, whether that's Facebook Messenger or text or email, whatever it is. It's always been email for me because I suck at tracking, and at least an email I can scroll back and see where I am in a conversation. Jennifer, I'll answer that question in a second. I don't want to pop it up and get distracted because I'm really bad at that. But I will pull everything over to email immediately. I never talk about anything on Instagram Beachbody related. If somebody asks where I got my kid's shoes or his haircut or anything like that, like I will answer that in email. I will talk about anything I'm wearing or anything I'm doing, not on email, on Instagram. Those conversations are for Instagram. The second anyone is interested in Beachbody coaching, buying anything from me, we move over to email and it becomes a business conversation. So first and foremost, I want to get them talking. Karina, I will answer your question as well. Or Arena, sorry, I saw the K and got distracted. If that's even who that is, I don't know. I'll answer whoever Kay Adams is in a second. So I pull it over to email, email. And I never answer their original question. I want them to start talking first, because here's where we lose people. Someone says they're interested in more info. You've invited them. So it wasn't in their court to start the conversation, but you've invited them. They say they're interested, and then you go, and they're like, whoa, that's too much. I don't know what a challenge group is. I don't know what Lift 4 is. Okay, it's Arena. I was confused. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what Shift Shop is. Who's Chris Downing? Like, what's Shakeology? And you've lost them because you're like, I'm starting this challenge group on June 14th. We're going to be doing Shift Shop. Chris Downing's the best. Cafe Latte is my favorite. What flavor Energize do you want? What's your email? And they're like, I just said I was interested in more information. I have no idea what the F you're talking about, and you've lost me. That's where you're getting ghosted. Am I right? Anyone in the comments, like, is that where you're getting ghosted? You send information and then they're ghosted? You've got to get them talking first, okay? You want to get them talking first. Everyone loves to talk about themselves. So my first email says, hey girl, I'm so excited to potentially be a part of your health and wellness journey. I can literally recite it because I literally been sending the same email for 2.5 years. Hey girl, or whatever their name is. I try to say their name. I'm so excited to potentially be a part of your health and wellness journey. You're, beyond like getting ready for a wedding, whatever it is, make it a little bit personal. And say, I know this is kind of annoying, but I love to ask you a few questions first to see if it would be a good fit. So I am no longer like trying to like grasp everything that will come at me. I am making this a two-way interview. Am I a good fit for you? Are you a good fit for me? Remember, you want to be wearing the pants. No matter if this is your first sale or you're about to hit Success Club 45, you are wearing the pants. And so I asked them these questions. What are your goals in the 30, 60, 90 days? What do you struggle more with, fitness or nutrition? And then I kind of like break it down and I say, I want to hear your story. What's worked for you? What hasn't? Talk to me a little bit. And I say, actually we've talked about this. Don't distract me. I thought you were going to bed also. See guys, I get so freaking distracted by the chats. Share your story. I say, I love novel length emails. This is your chance for me to get to know you. You already know everything about me because you follow me on Instagram. Please share a little bit of your story here. And then I also ask about, there's a little bit question I just added about UPF versus 2B. I don't say UPF or 2B. I ask them like more of a, do you think that you need some freedom and flexibility and eyeballed portions, or do you need like more structure and strict plan that's going to tell you exactly what to eat? I kind of ask something like that. And then I also love to ask about their internet connection, because I don't want to sell Beachbody on Demand to somebody who doesn't have the internet capabilities of streaming Netflix, or they don't have Wi-Fi at their house and they're going to be streaming from their phone, because that doesn't sound like a good time to me to be doing Lift 4 on my phone. I don't know about you guys. So I ask all those things, and sometimes I get back an email that says like, yes, no, lose 5 pounds, kinda, yes, okay, sure, you know, and those are hard emails to reply to, because then it kind of goes into like an automated message. But sometimes people share their whole mother trucking heart with me. They tell me about their miscarriage. They tell me about the abusive relationship they just got out of. They tell me about how they've been following me for 8 years, and they identify with every struggle I've ever went through in my life, and they just want someone to hear them and meet them where they are. They, you know, they tell me their whole life story, and that's my chance to pour my heart and soul into them, meet them where they are, relate with them, feel, felt, found, get to know them on a like human soul level. Yes, Chris, I can post some samples of these. And I meet them where they are, and that is where hook and sinker, whatever that line is, they are ready to pay me $500 to help them get out of this hole that they're in, okay? I ask also in those first questions if they're ready to make an investment, because they have to know that this is my full-time job. Even if it's not your full-time job, we are not friend on the other end, we're not therapists, we are not any of that for free, okay? What you have to offer is worth something, and you've got to understand that. You people that are running free groups all the time, we are not the Peace Corps. We have something to offer. And the second that you decide that and stand in that with confidence is when people are going to start paying you something to help them, okay? So to make that known, like, are you ready to make an investment for me to help you reach your health and wellness goals, okay? I do all of this. Then I meet them where they are. I pour back into them, like, thank you so much for sharing your heart with me. I know that's not always easy. I had to take so much courage to put that out there like that. I mean, these are emails that I have to be in my office by myself. These are not emails I can answer on the fly. My husband knows if I'm pushing for a big group start or something, like, I am in my office pouring my heart and soul back into these particular startup emails, okay? Often they make me cry, they make me laugh. Like, I'm getting to know these girls that know me from social media, right? And then that is when I start to tell them what comes in a challenge pack. I always lead with the challenge pack. Almost never do they come back with me and say, oh, I actually just want the bod, because they don't even know that's an option unless they are super type A researchers and have already looked up all the options on Beachbody on Demand, okay? Or, you know, Team Beachbody. So after I pour into their heart and soul, I then break down what comes in a challenge pack. Beachbody on Demand, you're gonna get 700 plus workouts. These are my favorite. They range from 20 minutes to 55 minutes, you know, XYZ. Then you're gonna get Shakeology. And I pour my own personal testimony of what Shakeology has done for me, love it, into the thing. I talk about what I use on a daily basis, and that's a lot of things. I use Hydrate and Energize and Power Greens and occasionally a Beach Bar, and I know that's a lot of information, and I literally will put in there, this is so much information. I'm so certain at this point you're overwhelmed, but I want to make sure you know that the option is yours, what you're going to invest in today, okay? This is what I would do if I knew what I know now. I'd pay $600 for a challenge pack. But guess what? You're going to get it for $180 or $220 or whatever is on Spotlight at that time. I attach a graphic, which I can also provide for you in the files section, and I spotlight 3 challenge packs usually. Right now I have the 2B Mindset and the UPF at the top, and I call it the Committed. They're going to get a nutrition component, a consumable, so that's either going to be Shakeology or the Performance line, and the Beachbody on Demand. There is the Life Changer, which is going to be a deluxe challenge pack, so that's going to be Beachbody on Demand and all 3 consumables. And then the bottom is the basic, and it's just Beachbody on Demand and 1 consumable, okay? And I literally, all day long, am selling the top 2 because I've told them everything I use, and they know that I'm a product of $500 worth of supplements per month. So they're going to want to get started on the $200 package because it's kind of in the middle. So many of you new coaches, okay, now I'm not talking at you, I was there. We immediately want to make the decision for them that they're only going to want to spend the $160 because it's the cheapest challenge pack and it makes the most sense for me, or, you know, was the most sense at the time that I started, or whatever it is. We want to make that decision for them, and we're making a decision when you could sell something that, you know, is $60 more, a little bit more commission. They're going to get a couple more products in their package to try instead of like just getting Shakeology and hating Shakeology, or just getting Energize and Recover or hating one of those products. I love telling them everything I use and then making sure that they know the ball's in their court to make that decision. I, preface with, I know this is so much information, but, here's your options. Please let me know if you have any questions. And it's a graphic, it's very visual. I'll take my name off of it and share it with you guys. I'll take some of my story out of some of my scripts and get them uploaded to the files section. All of that good stuff. And typically they come back with, I'm in, I want this package, or they have a few questions, okay? And here's the thing, you guys, they see me using this stuff every day on my stories. It's not like I bought this once 4 years ago and it worked for me once, but I don't use it anymore. They understand that I drink Hydrate and Energize every single day. They understand that I drink Shakeology almost every day when I remember. No, I'm just kidding, but seriously. I drink Recover when I lift, and I tell them that. It's not something I drink every single day, Recover. So if that's gonna sway you in making your decision, I drink it when I lift. I drink Power Greens, but I didn't at the beginning. I tell them that. I only get a box of 15 beach bars per month because it's more of a snack for me. I don't need a beach bar every single day. So I'm meeting them where I am now, 4 years into my journey, but I want them to have opportunity to make their decision on that total package. And Ashley Bean, who I don't know if you're on live or if you're watching the recording, she said an analogy probably 6 to 10 months ago, and I use it all the time. She used the example, and I'm probably going to butcher her sample, but this is what I say. My hair, right? A lot of people ask if it's my natural color, how do I get it there, all that stuff. If someone asked me how to get my hair this color, and I only told them my toner or my shampoo, they didn't have the toner and the bleach and the shampoo and the developer and know how long to keep it on and all that stuff, right? They need a total package to achieve this look. I can't just say, here's my toner. And that's the same with my Beachbody journey. I can't just say, I drink Shakeology, or I can't just say, I just finished lift 4. I drink Shakeology, I just finished lift 4, I follow 2B mindset, I drink Hydrate and Energize every single day, I drink Power Greens when I drink Shakeology, and I drink Recover after my lifting workouts. That is the total package that got my Mission Mom bod. It wasn't just 2B mindset, it wasn't just lift 4, and we can't make that decision for them. So, maybe what I just said to you is way too much information, but I promise you the numbers that you see on the board from me are that system all day, every day. The new coaches on this call that I've signed up in the last 2 months, that's fresh in their mind. So when they sign up as a coach and they say, what do I do? Go back and look at my email to you a month ago when you bought your challenge pack, that's what you do. And so I'm modeling that behavior that I want them to figure out what makes sense and sounds good to them, so it's immediately duplicatable to them. So that if you don't have a system today, and maybe you're not in a place that you're recruiting coaches yet, but the quicker that you get that system, the more I can sell challenge packs in my freaking sleep, literally. And it's because I have a system. All of these things are typed out in drafts in my email. I work on the go a lot. I know that we're not supposed to. I know that we're supposed to have boundaries, and I am great at unplugging when it's time, but I work on the go a ton. If we're in the car and my husband's driving, he's zoned out listening to music. Do you care if I work for a second? I can sell a couple challenge packs. That is my jam. That's what works for me. And I have all of these little scripts that I can share with you guys in drafts, and I personalize them, and I make them, I meet them where they are. And those long ones where I'm reading their story, I never do those on the go. That's at my computer. But all of the follow-up questions, or I'm in, okay, what flavor Shakeology you want? That all can happen on the go in my emails. So I know there are quite a few questions. I'm going to go ahead and pull those up now. I don't even know what time it is. Okay, cool. 9:30. We did good. I'm going to make it gallery view again because I'm getting distracted by the speaker thing. And anyone that has any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I will for sure, maybe not tonight, but first thing tomorrow, I will get some of these scripts and stuff out to those of you that are not in my downline and don't already have access to them. Okay, cool. So, Amanda, will you share the emails and videos with us? Sure. Ashley says, I do send the questions, and after I send the info of the shakes workout performance pack, I almost always get ghosted and then follow up and they never respond. So Ashley is one of my PS coaches, and she's still fairly new in business building. And girlfriend, I promise you, the longer that you stick this out and you show that you're still showing up, whether they buy something or not, they're gonna come back around. I share screenshots all the time of girls that I've literally been talking to for 2.5 years. I've been following up with for 6 months, 8 months, 9 months. You know, I will literally not follow up with someone for months and months, and then I do the whole, like, I'm going back to January in my emails, and anything that didn't end in a challenge pack sale is getting a message from me. Hey, babe, I didn't want you to fall through the cracks. I know life was crazy last time we chatted. Just wanted to see if now is a better time for you. They were interested in the first place. They took the time to answer your questions. There's something, and it's not you, there's something going on in their life that they're not ready to commit. And it's so much more joyous and fun and awesome to help someone who's ready to change their life than someone who you had to freaking overcome 87 objections for them to buy a challenge pack. Because, sister, that means they're not ready to change their life, and they're going to be the one that's never posting, never doing their workouts, saying this ish doesn't work, and we all know it does, but they weren't ready to say yes to this journey. And yes, of course, there are objections we have to overcome, and we have to be confident in that. We have to get good at that, and we have to dig a little bit deeper sometimes in some of those conversations. But if you have to pull teeth to get someone to fill out their share cart, they're not going to make 30 minutes to work out every day. Promise you. If they're not going to take 6 minutes to fill out those questions for me, they're not going to be ready to push play and take care of themselves if I'm not, you know, knocking on their door asking every day where their sweaty selfie is. Okay, cool. Chris also asked if she could have my stuff. I don't know if that's a boy or girl. Ashley Smith says the same thing. If I could go back to knowing what I've gained and how I've grown, I'd buy 10 of those suckers. Absolutely. Dude, you make it sound so simple. Promise. It's clockwork these days. Steph says, I asked those questions within IG versus email. Getting the actual email was a time suck, and sometimes I forgot about them. Yeah, you have to find what works for you. And that's kind of, after I said that, I said, you know, if IG's your jam, Katie Flynn Crum, one of my best friends in the business, she has all of her conversations via IG. I love talking on IG about The Bachelor and breastfeeding and Barrett's Boots and like all of that stuff. So if I was having business conversations on Instagram, I would lose my effing ish all the time, and I wouldn't be able to, I mean, I would be more of a hot mess than I am. So email is my like way, and I'll even say that when I'm following up. Like if I follow up with someone once or twice on email and they're not getting back to me, I will go back to wherever we first started talking, whether that's Facebook or Instagram, and I'll say, hey babe, I know email's weird for some people, you know, maybe you aren't in the email world, or you're working, like as a nanny, I didn't have emails. I didn't do emails in my working world. And maybe email is weird for you, but it's how I stay organized, and it's how I have boundaries in my business. So if you're still interested in working together, please take a couple minutes and answer my initial email. So people will respect that. Again, the Bob Heilig thing, we're wearing the pants here, and we have to make sure that they know we're wearing the pants. If you want to work with me, I have girls all the time that will literally message me 8 times on Instagram that they're ready and never answer my initial questions email. And I'll say, hey babe, I'm so excited to get you started, but I need you to answer those questions first. Like, it's a prerequisite before I ever ask you anything else or send you a link to buy anything. And there are other coaches out there that literally you can click in their bio of their Instagram what package you want, and their assistant sends you a link, and you can buy from that coach if that's how you're wanting to. But I want to hear your heart. I want to get to know you so that on those tough days I can remind you why you started. Okay? Awesome. I'm going to keep moving here. What do you do when you receive objections from the info email? I overcome the objections. I use my story. If it's a price objection, or I don't do shakes objection, or whatever it is, I use my story, and I use other people's stories, and I overcome those babies. If you have a specific objection you're getting, Bree, we can talk more about that one-on-one. Changing up my virtual gym for June and making sure that everyone is on HD for something. I actually have no requirements of HD in my gym, Bridget. So that is something that you have to decide for sure. I don't do month. I do an ongoing community. Julie, in the old coach charges, there's going to be a couple calls from Amy Grasso about the ABCs of challenge groups. And there's also a national wake-up call from November 6th, I believe, on Amy Grasso about ongoing fit communities. See, Annette said it took 6 months of ghosting to finally get her coach to sign up, and Annette is a freaking rock star, and Katie's her coach below saying it's true. Since your community is ongoing, how do you create the sense of sign up today because X is starting? I don't. And you know what? I just got done talking on my team call about this. I found that in that season of my business, when I was doing We Start on This Day, and I have my new coaches have this happen to them. And Amanda, I feel like you just said you were going to start your first group too. This literally just happened. I just talked to somebody today about this. Here's what happens. We say we're starting a fit community on June 6th, and we're a brand new coach, and nobody signs up before June 6th. And then we make a liar out of ourselves, and we have to either pretend that somebody signed up, or we have to say nobody signed up on June 6th. So now we're starting June 13th. Does anyone want to start up June 13th? Even though for the last month I've been talking about a group that starts on June 6th. Nobody actually signed up on June 6th. So now we're going to start on June 16th. Okay? Do you see that struggle? New coaches, has anyone like been there? Like, I'm starting on this day, but nobody committed by that day. So now I'm stuck, and what do I talk about for the next 3 weeks? The other thing that I found happening, and I was talking to Aubrey about this yesterday, when I was in a season of consistently hitting Success Club 10 and 12, and like that was where I was at, it was when I was running that kind of challenge group, because we're starting on June 6th, okay? So there's like a push. You know, June 6th starts, we're doing prep week, you know, maybe you get in the system June 7th, June 8th, it's fine. You'll just be like a little bit behind by the time your step and your shake comes. And then somebody the next week is like, hey, I'm ready right now. Like, I have enough money in my account right now. What do you tell them? They have to wait for 3 weeks until your next group starts? Like, I found myself like push. Here we are, we started, and now there's a lull for 3.5 weeks. So what happens with your paycheck? You have like one good week, and then you have like $14 paychecks because you're cycling, and then you have one good week. So I found when I have something to always be inviting to, my paycheck is more consistent. I'm making almost the same like little bit, you know, every week. I'm always adding new challengers. I'll add 2 here, 4 there, 2 there, 1 there. It's just what's worked for me. So hopefully that answers your question, Amanda. Nicole, when you started, what did your invites look like? I know you had a ton of followers. Now, do you still invite, or people seeking you out? So I do a ton of passive inviting, and I always have. And what I mean by passive inviting, and I go through seasons of inviting. Team cut month, I am inviting. If I am pushing for something, I am inviting. I'll do polls on my stories, or some type of thing where they kind of have to like tell me they want an invite, and then I invite. Again, it goes with the whole, like, I want to meet people where they are. I want people who are ready for me to message them, because I personally hate when someone says, you know, have you ever thought about trying my shampoo? No, I actually haven't. I didn't even know that you sold shampoo. like that is what it feels like to me when I get those messages. And again, I'm not telling you to not invite if inviting is working for you. And Alli's probably gonna like share her pants when she starts seeing this recording. And I always am like quick to not talk about this when other people ask me on team calls. But I am in your face, passively inviting all day, every day. And so if people are watching my stories and reading my posts on my page, I am inviting to be in this with me all of the time, every day. And so that kind of like translates into those conversations naturally. I do invite story views, because if they're watching my story, then they're in my storefront, they're interested in my life. Have you ever thought about joining me? Hey babe, I saw you've been watching my stories lately. Have you ever thought about learning more about what I do fitness-wise or business-wise? That's an invite I might send. I saw you clicked on, you know, our retreat turned into spring break because the Wi-Fi was terrible and we started drinking too early on the first day. So I literally did call to actions all week about joining the twerk team, and anyone that clicked on it got an invite from me. Okay, like that's just at Alli's retreat. Our rooms were huge, and our my bathroom was like super huge, and I was like, as an extrovert, kind of lonely getting ready in the bathroom by myself, and I literally did a call to action about like, who wants to be here dancing with me, blow drying my hair next year, and those people got an invite. So like sometimes I kind of like make them opt in for an invite, but I still do send invites. What is my I don't do shake objection? I literally say, can you tell me more about that? What's your experience? Why do you feel that way? I just got that objection yesterday. So many people think Shakeology is a protein shake. It's not a freaking protein shake. So if you have taken Cellucor in the past, I used to be a Cellucor affiliate. If you've bought something from GNC or Walmart, like you've never had anything like Shakeology. Did you mix it with water? Like, did you mix it with lukewarm water and there were still chunks in it? Like, that's an issue. That's not how Shakeology is meant to be drank. So I dig a little bit deeper. I never really let anyone, I overcome every objection. Like, and at the end of the day, if they're just like, you know, it's not for me, then this probably isn't for you, because this is what I do, okay? All right, we're only 40 minutes in. I feel like I've been talking for 8 hours, but I also have had like 4 calls back to back. So keep them coming. I've been saying it's a protein shake all the time. It's for sure not a protein shake. It is a superfood vitamin shake with probiotics and prebiotics and adaptogens and phytonutrients. And if you think it's a protein shake, there's a whole podcast on Shakeology, sister, and you should go educate yourself. So if you have this little podcast app on your phone and you type in Shakeology, there's literally endless information about Shakeology. It's not a protein shake. Recover is a protein shake. I just started using Streak like 2 weeks ago. So yes, I use Streak right now. That's it. Just 2 weeks ago. 2 more questions. There's a little lag and I don't want to just be hanging out. Do you cap the number of people on your community? Do you use MailChimp? I don't use MailChimp. I'm not even familiar with MailChimp. Inside Shakeology is what the podcast is called. Do I cap the number of people in my fit community? So do you mean monthly or like in general? Because right now there is a lot of people in my fit community. So here's what I do. I just opened my Instagram and that picture of Alli is like melting me. Okay, monthly. So here's what I do. I talked about the list that I make in my stories every month, and Alli does it. I'm sure everyone on this call is following Alli. So it looks like this. I just recently started adding a before and after picture of myself, so that's constantly in everyone's face every time I post this. So right now I have 20 for May. And hold on, Kayla, I don't know. I'm gonna answer this first. So I have 20 for May. I've currently signed up 15, and I publicly will only take 20. So the second that this caps off, I stop posting this. But I continue following up. I continue having behind the scenes sales. So I might have 30. I might have 25. And my fit community is so big that nobody's going to be like, oh, she actually took 22 this month and said she was only taking 20. But I did have a girl reach out to me recently that was mad because she was told she was going to be one of 5 in this other coaches, and there were way more than 5, and she felt lied to. So I just twist the truth a little bit. Kayla, how do you grow your social media presence while being true to yourself? We can talk about more about that one-on-one, my friend. That's a topic for a different day, and you're my PS coach, so I love you. All right, anything else? We have to do a team pick for sure. Actually, I'm gonna do a video, and I'm just gonna show everyone waving, okay? All right, Team Together Fit. Happy Monday. Good night. All right, friends, my inbox is always open. If you have more questions, for sure, slide into my DMs and I will answer those for you. So I love you all. Have an amazing night. Bye.